Hey, friend. Welcome. I'm so happy to be here with you today, and hopefully, you're excited about today's topic like I am. Today's topic, we are going to talk about a place that maybe you don't know that much about. And so I always think it's really fun to bring you some options and kind of expand your horizons a little bit for places that you may not have heard of before. So today we are going to talk about Croatia. We've titled it Why Croatia? The subtitle is The Magic Awaits. So you can tell that this is going to be a pretty great place. Have you ever thought about visiting Croatia? That may not be super high on your bucket list. And if you haven't, then you are in for a total treat today because you are going to learn more about this great country and some really cool, amazing things about it. I am putting together a group Croatia trip with my local Chamber of Commerce. I have been working on that. And the trip is all put together and it is all arranged, and I will give you more details as we go along. But basically, Croatia has captivating history, jaw-dropping scenery, amazing experiences. It is like this coolest place, and so many people right now actually want to go visit Croatia. I have just had so many requests, and people are really talking a lot about Croatia these days. So, just a few things about Croatia. It has an amazing coastline and beautiful islands. So, one way that people visit Croatia a lot is by doing a cruise. Like they just cruise down the coastline, they get to see a couple of the islands and get to, stay on the ship. It's not a river cruise because you're not cruising through rivers. It is along the coast. So, it is an ocean cruise, but it's not a huge ocean cruise liner because it doesn't need to be this huge boat. It's just this fun, small ocean cruise ship that you get to stay on and visit Croatia that way. So that is one cool way that people like to visit Croatia because there's so many great things all up and down the coast. Croatia has these crystal clear waters, and just imagine them. They're lapping up against these stunning pebbled beaches, beautiful picturesque coastlines. Like they just are amazing. They're really, really stunning. Croatia has over 1,200 islands. So if you do have a chance to go to Croatia and stay, visiting some of the islands might be a fun thing to do. And it also has some UNESCO World Heritage sites. The cities of Split and Dubrovnik have ancient ruins and Roman palaces and just some really cool things. So you can already tell that Croatia is pretty amazing. It has some rich history and culture. There's Roman architecture. In Split, there's a place called the Diocletian Palace, and that is a really cool place to tour. Dubrovnik city walls also double as King's Landing, if you recognize that from Game of Thrones. Many of Croatia's larger islands boast thousands of years of architecture and art. So there's just like so much to see and explore. And the influencers from Croatian culture and history were the Greek settlers, the Romans, and then the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So there is so much like amazing, really amazing history here in Croatia. Lots of great culture. Okay. Another really, really super great thing about Croatia is the outdoors, not just the beaches, but national parks. So it's a pretty small country, comparatively speaking, but they have 8 national parks and they are amazing, like so gorgeous, so beautiful. For example, the Plitvice Lakes National Park is probably the most famous national park in Croatia, and they alone have 16 lakes and beautiful waterfalls that you can see. These pictures that I'm showing on this slide, if you are watching, one of them is from Plitvice National Park, and the other one is from Krka National Park. Just gorgeous waterfalls and scenery, and just beautiful greenery, and just the lakes and the waterfalls. It's just incredible. Like it's breath. If you are an outdoor lover, you can bike, hike, you can raft down the rivers. There's so many great outdoorsy things to do, along with, of course, all of the beach outdoorsy things to do along the water and the beaches. Okay. Also, if you are a foodie, you will love Croatia There are so many great foods. They're just fresh and they're amazing and wonderful. There's festivals, there's wines. Croatia is really a foodie haven. Along the coast, if you are a seafood lover, just amazing fresh seasonal ingredients, ancient recipes, freshly grilled seafood and fish, and just all of the things that you would imagine. Very delectable. Inland, though, they also have some really wonderful hearty meat dishes and casseroles, and they just do an amazing job with their food. They have local wines and vineyards and wine cellar tours, all kinds of things like that, if that is of interest to you. And they have some pretty great music festivals throughout the year. Two really popular ones. One is called the Ultra Europe, and another one is called the Fresh Island Festival. They have live music, they have dancing. It's just really a fun time. So lots of great things along that scene as well. It's pretty easy access to get to Croatia. Now, from my city, Salt Lake City, there are not any nonstop flights or anything like that. You do have to stop along the way in different cities, just depending on your routing. But there are really some great, easy cities to fly into. So you can fly into Split, you can fly into Dubrovnik, to Zagreb. There's just really, it's really pretty easy access to get into Croatia. Even though it's this little place, they've really made the airports international and accessible. All along the Dalmatian coast, there are, which is what the area is called, the Croatian coast is called the Dalmatian coast. And they have hot, dry summers, they have mild winters. This really is part of the Mediterranean. So if you ever go on, for example, a Mediterranean cruise, a lot of times they stop at one or two places in Croatia. So if that is on your bucket list, you will probably get to see Croatia, or you have an option or an opportunity to look at Mediterranean cruises that do stop in Croatia. So I would totally take advantage of that if you're not going for like a separate trip all on its own, because Croatia is not to be missed for sure. Okay, I mentioned a little bit the Dubrovnik, the city walls that are part of the scenery for Game of Thrones. Now there are lots of other places in Croatia for Game of Thrones filming locations. Now, Game of Thrones wasn't or and isn't specifically only filmed in Croatia. There's other places, and of course, on sets, they have sets that, of course, they built. But Croatia has a lot. So if you are a Game of Thrones fan, let me know, and I can totally help put together a Game of Thrones itinerary for you, and you can see lots of amazing places in Croatia. But just for example, in Dubrovnik, there's the Mincheta Tower, the Bokar Fortress, the Tristano Arboretum. In Split, there's the Diocletian's Palace, the Klis Fortress, and Zubrovnica. Now, some of these names in Croatia, I just have to say, are a little interesting to pronounce because they don't always put vowels in between their consonants. So it's kind of interesting to pronounce some of these names, but it's an adventure for sure. So anyway, if you are a Game of Thrones fan, you would love going to Croatia because that there are so many places that you might recognize. Okay, if you want to go to Croatia, I can help you get there. Like I was mentioning at the beginning, I have put together a Croatia group trip with my local Chamber of Commerce. They wanted to put together a trip for people to visit Croatia. And so I put this trip together, and it's just for anybody who wants to go. You do not have to be a member of any kind of Chamber of Commerce or anything like that. Just have a desire. They've opened it up to anybody who wants to go. And it's just going to be a fun group of people that are going to go and experience Croatia. Yes. If you are interested in finding out more information about this Croatia trip, if you would like to come to an informational meeting and you are close to or live nearby in the Salt Lake area, then we are having a meeting coming up. The meeting will be on September 25th from 5 p.m. until 6:30. And the location is at the Davis Technical College, the DATC or the DTC, as it's known. At the Business Resource Center, it's at 450 South Simmons Way in Kaysville. So here is the information. If you are watching, if you are listening, then just check the show notes and you can get that information from the show notes. Everyone is invited. So come get the information and we'll be giving you all of the details. So love to see you there. If you are close enough that you could come to Kaysville, Utah on September 25th, that would be great. We'd love to see you. It is in April of 2025, and the package includes the flights, 7 nights in Croatia, 2 meals a day, lots of sightseeing every day, also plenty of free time. If you are a business owner, a lot of people from the chamber, are interested in going. And so it might be like a husband wife combination, and one of them owns a business, the other one doesn't, that kind of thing. So if you are a business owner, you would fit right in because there will be chances to network with other people and kind of get to know what they do and kind of, even if you're not a business owner, super fun to get to connect with and get to know other people. I am going and I'm just really excited to get to go. So I thought it would be fun to let you know and kind of go over the itinerary really quick with you. I thought that would be a fun option for just our episode today. Now, like I said, the flights are included, but if you want to go and you are flying from somewhere that is not Salt Lake City, or even if you want to get your flights on your own, there will be a little bit of a discount for not including your flights, and then you can get your flights separate. So that is not a problem if you do not want to fly from Salt Lake City, but you want to go on this trip and you want to join us. Okay. So with the trip that I've put together with the flights that we have, you would depart Friday, April 11th from the Salt Lake International Airport. It's a flight that leaves at 9 p.m., stops in Amsterdam, and then arrives in the Zagreb airport in Croatia. So pretty nice option. It arrives in Zagreb at 10:35 p.m. on the following day. So it arrives on the 12th. All flights to Europe are overnight flights. So you always will leave one day from here and then you'll arrive into Europe, the following day. Okay. So once we arrive in Zagreb, we'll be transferred to the hotel. So there will be transportation ready to take everybody to the hotel. And the hotel is called the Lyra Hotel Plitvice. And we'll just stay one night in that hotel. So that will just be a, one night place. As you can see, it's really a beautiful, beautiful hotel with a great location. The rooms are super nice. They have breakfast included. And anyway, so that'll be the first night staying there in Zagreb. Then that next day, after having breakfast at the hotel, then we'll get to go to the Plitvice Lakes National Park. So that is one of the national parks that I was talking about. So at the beginning, like once we get there, then we will go on a little boat ride across to this emerald green lake. And then at the end, we'll take a little train ride back to the main entrance. It's about a 3-hour visit, and we just get to wander around and see these beautiful 16 lakes connected by gorgeous waterfalls. Like it's incredible. So it's just mostly kind of hiking / walking around on these paths to get to see all of these gorgeous waterfalls and lakes. That afternoon, once we are finished with the Plitvice National Parks, then we'll check in at a different hotel. It's called the Hotel Kolovare Zadar. And that is where we will stay for 3 nights. That hotel is located right on the beach. So that is pretty cool. And you can see just a few pictures. They've got a swimming pool at the hotel, and you can see the rooms are just really nice. And it's just a great little spot to stay. And that will be a 3-night stay. Okay. So the next day, then we will be in the town of Zadar. And so after eating breakfast, then we'll get to have this little walking tour of Zadar and see like the Roman Forum, which dates back to the 1st century AD. It's just crazy. Or there's another place called the Church of St. Donatus, and that's from the 9th century AD. Like these just so old, these edifices and structures that are just so old. Lunch is included this day, And then the rest of the day is just kind of on your own. Then we're on to Tuesday. So Tuesday, we are visiting another national park. It's called the Plitvice National Park. And this is also a beautiful, really scenic national park. It spans 37 square miles. There is one basically mountain peak in it that's about 1,300 feet high. And basically we'll be just kind of sightseeing and hiking. It's a guided hike. We'll be going through the Karst River Canyon, and it's just really, really gorgeous. And you can see a few pictures of kind of what the national park looks like. And so that's going to be beautiful. We'll have lunch all together at a local restaurant and then go back to Zadar and just have some free time in the afternoon. The following day, we get to see the third national park of the trip. There are 3 national park visits throughout this trip. So this national park is called Kirka National Park. And this is gorgeous. Lots more waterfalls, the wooden paths, there's just rare birds. It's just gorgeous. These beautiful, like these stepping stone waterfalls and that kind of thing. This is a picture of the city of Split, which is where we will be staying for the next 3 nights. So then after that national park visit, then we will go check in at our next hotel, which is called the Art Hotel in Split. And we will be staying there for 3 nights. It's also it's a great location. It's close to the Diocletian Palace that I was telling you about. Beautiful. They've got this beautiful rooftop pool that is just gorgeous, kind of an infinity pool, and it's lovely. And so then we are on to Thursday. I don't think I've been outlining the days every single day, but by Thursday, then we get to visit the town of Split, where we are currently staying, and get to have some lunch there in Split at a restaurant, and then go visit the little town of Trogir. And Trogir is a UNESCO heritage site as well, along with Split. And it just has lots of palaces, churches, towers, fortresses. It's one of the islands that I was talking about. You can see like this part of the fortress at Trogir. Anyway, it's just pretty amazing. Lunch included again, and then free time back in Split. All right, now we're to Friday. And Friday, we are going to visit a couple of really cool different things. One is called the Cliffs Fortress. And this, like I mentioned earlier, is one of the filming locations for Game of Thrones, the Cliffs Fortress. So we will get to go there and have, this tour of the fortress, really cool place. It's been around since the 2nd century BC. So it's been around like so long. And then there is like this olive growing park. I don't know, not a park. I don't know what you'd call it. Olive growing estate, I guess. And it's called Stella Croatica. And we'll have lunch there. But basically, we'll get to have this guided tour, learn about the olive history and the cultivation, and go to the olive museum. Really cool. And then the final stop this day is a cave, and it's called the Varankaha Cave. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. But the cave is really cool. So these are just some pictures of what we're going to see that day. So the Cliffs Fortress and the olive gardens and the Varankaha Cave is really cool. And then we'll go back to, once we've done all of that and explored the cave and everything, we will go back to Split and just be on our own for dinner that evening. Then Saturday is the day we depart. So we'll have breakfast at the hotel and then depart for home. The flight on Saturday leaves at 11:35 a.m. So it's not super early. And we'll go through Paris, also through Seattle, and then arrive in Salt Lake at 10 p.m. that night. So really, really great. This really amazing trip. If you want to go, let me know. Like, I totally would love to give you more information about it. All of these amazing things that are included. And it's just really, really cool. It's just a great, great option if you want to see Croatia. And it would be so fun to go with you. I would love it if you want to go. If you want to go to Croatia, then come and just contact me and let me know. I will give you more details. I'll send you that whole little itinerary that I sent. Plus, I've got a bunch more information that I can send you. So please let me know if you are interested, because I would love to have you come along. So whether you are interested in that or not, what do you think of Croatia? Doesn't it sound amazing? The reason that I decided to do this episode and to talk about Croatia in this way is A, I wanted to get the word out, obviously. But B, another reason is because when I was telling like some of the local chamber members about this trip, somebody came up to me afterward and they were like, "Why Croatia? Why did you pick Croatia? That just seems like kind of an odd place." And I thought, people don't really know about Croatia. It does seem like a different place because Croatia is not like Greece or France or England or some of these places, Italy, that are so common that people visit all the time. And so now maybe Croatia will be on your bucket list and you may want to go sometime. It does have a little bit of everything for everyone, I feel like. It's got so much beauty and nature and outdoor activities, but it's also got so much great history and culture, the cuisine. Like, let's not forget about all the great things that there are to do in Croatia. So let me know if you would like to go. I'd be happy to get you there, either on your own or along with this group trip that I've been talking about. Either way, it'd be exciting to get to go. And I love Croatia. It's an awesome place. And it would be great to share it with you if you have a desire to go. So, anyway, oh, I also wanted to point out, did you notice that I have a new logo? I love it. I love my new logo. It's so fun. I just thought it was time for a little refresh. I wanted to do a little refresh and I contacted a local gal that does logos and asked her if she would come up with a new one for me. And so I love it. I love my new logo. Will you like it too? And we will talk to you in a couple weeks. Thanks. If you've enjoyed this podcast, I would invite you to like, share, or leave a review. Let's help grow our wellness travel community.